Hi guys, Todd here with TW Home Show, and today I just wanted to follow up with you. It's been a while since I started my last project, portable off-grid home power supply system. And I've done it with a couple Bluetti units and of course solar panels out here, ground mount in my backyard. And I gotta say, if I could do roof mount and add more, that would be ideal, because you do need more solar panels than this to get the ultimate out of your portable off-grid system. But it's working good enough. I'm going to explain to you today my system, how I set it up. You might see some mistakes. You might think, hey Todd, why didn't you do it this way or that way? That's okay. I like to hear all your comments in the comment section below. So stay tuned. Let's go over this. All right guys, and we're back, and this is my homestead here around Tampa, Florida, in the suburbs of Tampa, and we get a lot of good sunshine. But this season here, there's been a lot of cloudy days, and this is December 2023, and I looked it up on Google because I was curious, you know, what are the longest days of sun you get? And December is close to the shortest day of sun, since we have that time scheduled back 1 hour. And so I looked it up. So December average time is from 7 to 5:30. You get sunlight. So that's what these are operating on. But now come April, May, June, you're looking at from 7 to 8 p.m. So that's going to be nearly 2.5, 3 hours more sunlight, which is going to help you or me in this case. But right now we're making the most of it. So I've got a set of solar panels here. This was my first pallet I ordered, and I put 2 of these 400 watts on our RV last year off of the pallet. So these are 400 each. So that's 2,400 watts with that section there. And I built those, I bought the solar mount bracket kit from Signature Solar. That worked out really well here. As you can see, you can point it in any direction you want and easily ground mount the systems. I also added some hardware to put it on like a sleigh mount. And you can see that in the video above here if you want to take a more closer look at how I put these together. And then I added these 380 watts, 2 of those, which are smaller, slimmer, more compact. I wish I would have found those and made all of this in the 380 watt. I like that they're dark, black, trim, and compact. But this is what we got. This is what I'm working with. So I got this set up. Of course, you saw probably in the first video, I had to run the PVC piping and ran it out here. I had to buy a few switches. I got on-off switch right there. So if I want to do work to the system, I can switch it on and off. I got this port cover right here where our solar wires come out and then attach all the way down to our solar panels, giving us the power from the sun from right here. And I ran the PVC underground through here and came up here. I still want to bury this in a few more days. Maybe I'll get to that project, but I was trying to fast track it just to make sure everything hooked together and worked well, and it does. So we'll move to the inside garage, because that's where I ran all of the solar panels, back in around the house here, all the way back behind here. And I come out right here from behind our air conditioning system back there. And PVC right here, I got it painted to kind of match the house in this section. And then I went through this little wall right there, came out underneath the downspout, and then cornered it and angled it right, got it into the garage. I had to drill a hole there. You can see that fun video if you want. I'll leave a link to it up here. And then if we go right in through here, this is the setup. And right here is a lot to talk about. So let me get settled in here. I'm going to tell you everything I had to do in here. Even though it's portable, you do have to make some modifications to your circuit panel. All right, I'm sitting in front of my setup here, and what I did, I had to install a way for these 2 Bluetti units to get power when there's no sun, in case they need power without the sun. So I had to, of course I had some outlets in the garage, but I found out some of the circuits I wanted to back up with the transfer switches, those outlets were on. So you can't have a loop of backing up everything when your power generators are actually charging from the circuit you're backing up. It can't be done, all right? So I found that out very quickly. So I've installed these two outlets down here, dedicated power outlets, 20 amp with 20 amp wiring, and one over here. So I got one on each circuit breaker box. And if I look in here, this is that breaker I added. This is for panel 2 outlet, 20 amp breaker. And if we go back over to this one, here's panel 1 outlet right here, 20 amp. So I added that, and those actually feed those outlets right there. So those are dedicated, and the transfer switches right here are not, they don't include those outlets. So to do all this, as we just talked about the transfer switches, I had to add a transfer switch, one to each of my 200 amp circuit panels, breaker panels. So one over here, one over here. That's why I have two Bluetti units, AC500 and an AC300. Now I could have done all this, finding out, with the AC300. AC500 is a little bit overkill for my portable application here, but I like them both. And they didn't send these to me for free. This is one of the videos you'll see online that I purchased everything myself. So everything I'm saying here is truthful and honest, and I'm trying to give you, an insight. So in case you want to do something like this, you might want to. Now, I did all this because it's a portable system, and me and my wife plan to move maybe in about 4 or 5 years from now, after she actually retires, and we want to go somewhere more in the country, somewhere maybe Tennessee, Kentucky area, something like that, or somewhere Midwest, and get more of the 4 seasons and more acreage. So we don't have neighbors like right next door to us on each side. We'll have like 10 acres, 10 acres, that's good enough for us. And we can take this with us. So if you're planning to move, this is a good idea as well. And we're also planning to downsize, because this is a huge place for us. We don't have any kids. We just have our doggies and us. And we won't need this big of a place when we retire. So the transfer switches, they'll have to stay. They're wired in. The outlet boxes, they'll have to stay as well. Now the PVC tubing with the wire going out there and the switch out in the backyard for the panels, that will have to stay too. But the panels and the mounting brackets and everything, those I can load up on a pod system or U-Haul and take those with us, as well as these, the Bluetti systems and the battery packs. Those are coming with us. And the system I got here will probably power most, if not all, of a small, or not small, but say mid-size farmhouse property, especially when I add more solar panels, or when I have the room on 5 to 10 acres. So that's my idea. But I'm going to go over with you, because what I did on these transfer switches after I got them all up, it's been a while since I got back to you, since my last portable off-grid power system video. But I was doing some measurements, and on the transfer switches, if you can see here, I've calculated and labeled the average wattage through a 24-hour day period that each circuit pulls. Say 39 watts here, 153 watts here, average, consistent average. And I did the same with this one over here. I got them all labeled. So that helps me out. I don't have all of them powered right now, but I can come out here if we have a power outage. I can turn some off, turn some on, whatever I need. Say if I'm in one room, but then I want to cook dinner or something, I flick off that room, I click on the circuits for the kitchen, right? But I always have the refrigerators. We've got 4 refrigerator and freezers in our house, all around the house, different circuits. I have those always switched up to generator. So if it goes out, power goes out, the grid goes out at night, when we're sleeping, we wake up, our food, freezer stuff is just fine. All right, so here are some of the notes I have. This is the calculations that I made on a spreadsheet to tell me how many watts on each of those transfer switch circuits are taking. Say like this panel 2, fridge and kitchen, it's 111 watts on average that it pulls consistently during 24-hour day. Projector lake room, that's a pretty big hog right there, 382 watts average during the day. In-law TV and fridge, that's almost the whole in-law suite, 153 watts with TV and everything, and so on. So this is just for a guide for you to see how you might want to take notes and see what each circuit is pulling on average, so you get an idea. Now it's about it's going on 4 o'clock, so it's been partly cloudy out all day long, mostly cloudy. See all them clouds? Pretty thick in clouds today. But I've got this one, the AC500, at nearly 4 o'clock today. This is at 36% of all this battery stack. That's 3,000 watt batteries. It's at 36%. Right now, currently, it's pulling in 225 watts from the solar panels, right there. But it's pushing out 533 watts out to our transfer switch. So it's right now the solar panels are trying to suck up all the wattage that it's putting out, so it's going to start draining the battery here now because it's not producing enough sun. Now if we go over here, this is a 2 stack of 3,000 watt Bluetti batteries on the AC300. This is at 43% battery life left. 213 watts coming in from the sun, solar panels. 830 watts going out currently. And I know a lot of this wattage is because I have the lights on in the garage, and those ceiling lights are pretty high wattage, so probably about 400 watts just for the garage here while we're making the video. So 43%. Now what I have this set to, if I go to settings next, and if I go to where is it? Let me go back. Working mode. I got a PV priority UPS. This is how you want to have it set up if you're trying to produce off-grid power system. So if I press this, PV priority UPS is what I want. So it's going to make priority the solar panels. Enable it, yes, which it was already. Now it's going to enable pulling solar panel power while the sun's out, but if the battery state of charge drops it down to 25%, then this kicks on and starts pulling power from the grid. So this will never fail, never fail. It's either pulling power from the sun or at night when it drains this 43% or whatever this gets up to. I notice this will get up into the 90% ranking on both of these when there's full sun out. Now you might think, hey Todd, you're producing solar power during the day with your solar panels out there going through here. That is giving you free energy during the day. With any extra, you're charging up your battery stacks in here. That's going to last you for maybe from say 5:30 p.m. when the sun goes down in the winter evenings, winter time season in Florida, from 5:30 to say around 8 to 9 o'clock currently is when I run out of power from all the battery stacks, and these both reach 25%. Then it starts powering from the outlet right there and an outlet underneath this one outlet recharging each of these and with the battery stacks. That's what happens after 8 to 9 p.m. currently when I run out of battery. And then when the sun comes up, I start producing power from the panels, say around 8 to 9 a.m. in the morning. I start getting power on them panels, and then it stops pulling power from the grid, from these outlets, and it starts pulling power from the sun exclusively again. And it pulls enough sun and will pull even more in the spring and summer, because longer sunlight hours till about say 8 o'clock at night, from say 8 to 8, that's almost 12 hours of sunlight. These should be recharged back up to 100% before evening at 8 o'clock. And with those batteries at 100%, it'll probably last, if not through the night, at least till early morning hours. I'm thinking maybe 1 to 3 a.m. and it might have to pull from the grid at 1 to 3 a.m. I don't know yet because I haven't tested it through the spring and summer hours. So, but that's what I'm expecting from all the calculations I've made so far, and that's why I wanted to bring you this information so you get an understanding of how it's going to work. So when there's full sun out, these can get almost recharged plus pulling in solar panel power that will use to fulfill all your wattage in your house during the day while recharging these batteries back up for the evening hours. That's why I say come in the spring, April, May, June, then we're going to have about 2.5, 3 more hours of sunlight to get these all the way charged up and last almost throughout the night. And at night, you know, you use less power because you're asleep, you got all the TV shut down, everything like that. Most of the lights are off. But I got some notes here and we can go over some cost. And that's probably what you want to hear most is like, if I invest myself, Todd, how much did it cost you to buy all these batteries and these Bluetti systems, even the wire to run out there, the solar panels? Let's go over all that. I got my notes right here. All right, first off, the solar panels out back. Solar panels on average, with them shipped here on a pallet or however you get them shipped. If you can find them local, that's good. Those two 380 watt panels I found on Facebook Marketplace, and some guy had a pallet of brand new ones. Perfect, worked out perfect for me. So those he sold me $240 each. But the other pallet, including shipping, average splitting them out, those were about 252 watts each. And those solar panels were 400 watts. And those were Trina solar panels, 400 watt panels. Now, you're gonna need the bracket system from Signature Solar. That's the one I went with. Now you can build your own out of lumber. I built half of mine out of lumber. So the Trina, or the EG4 Bright Mount solar rack from Signature Solar, I bought 2 of those. And those were $600 for 2 racks, about $300 each. So that takes care of that. Now the hardware and wood added about another $150 to $200. And you can see some of that in my video here, how I built those solar panel rack systems. And then you're gonna say, hey, well, what about all the wiring? I used 10 AWG wire gauge coming from the solar panels out there through the PVC piping and fittings and stuff that I had to buy. All that wiring fittings, the on-off switches like I got over here, those all included about $1,200. And wiring, hardware, miscellaneous switches and stuff like that that you're going to need if you build something similar. Now, when I get into the garage here, I got the solar panels, I got the wires into the garage. I installed these 2 outlets, 1 on each panel. You might only need 1 outlet. You probably, most homes, average homes, have like just a 200 amp 1 circuit panel. This house, it's so big, it's got 2. So that's why I got 2 units. So all this stuff, you could probably cut the cost in half. I'm just explaining you my situation here. Yours is probably going to be half, hopefully. It would have been nice if I could have had only half too. But, so I bought the outlets and the little circuit breaker switches up there to install on the panel. I did the work myself, and that cost about $100. Now these breaker panels right here, or the, not breaker panels, the transfer switches right here. I installed those as well. 2 transfer switches, 1 here on this panel, 1 on that panel. That cost, those are, what are those? Transfer switches are ProTran 2 30 amp from Reliant. And I'll leave the links to all the stuff in the video description below. These are Reliant transfer switches, and those were $250 each. $500 for both transfer switches. And I wired them myself. Pretty simple. You can find videos to wire a transfer switch into your breaker panel, no problem, on YouTube, and you can see how simple it is. Now, if you feel intimidated, I almost was, you can hire an electrician, and I recommend do that if you're at all feel unease in yourself doing something like that, opening the panel up and seeing all those wires and breakers and the main power wires, huge wires coming into your house that are bringing in 200 amps, and you don't want to slip. Hire a professional. If you want, watch some YouTube videos like I did, and just be very, very careful. All right, so we're down to our transfer switches. All right, now what do we got? What are we missing? All right, the power transfer, or the power battery stations from Bluetti. Remember, they didn't send these to me at no cost. I purchased all these by myself. And I purchased, actually the AC500 right here, I purchased on a Indiegogo campaign, like a Kickstarter campaign, probably 2 years ago. So I got a pretty good deal on it. And that power station right here, with one 300S battery, so it came with the main unit, AC500 3000 watt, 5000 watt, and one Bluetti battery, 3000 watt hour. That on the Kickstarter campaign was $3,300. Not bad, not bad at all. Now, the AC300, 3000 watts, and it came with 4 batteries. 4 battery. So I got 2 here and 2 on this one to kind of balance out my load, because the breaker or the transfer switches on this one has more wattage per circuit. So I got more batteries. I got 3 batteries on this stack here and 2 batteries on this stack. But this AC300 with the 4 batteries was a renewed product, and I found it in the renewed section on the Bluetti website, and that was $7,196. For all that, that's pretty good when you're getting 4 huge batteries and the actual inverter unit, main unit, AC300, all together at a renewed value. And they came in brand new boxes. They say they go over them, they check them out, test them, repair them as needed or whatever. Seriously, they look like brand new. I could swear they're brand new. There wasn't a scratch or marking on any of those products that I received. All look packaged brand new and everything. Very, very, very impressed. Now, if I total everything up, everything we just discussed, all those prices, cost for a portable off-grid power system or home battery backup system, whatever you want to use it for. This is pretty this cost a lot, I should say, for just a battery backup system for your house. I wouldn't get nearly as much as this. But I'm trying to reduce our power consumption by pulling in solar through these units and actually using the batteries every night and recycling that stage every day to bring the power bill down. That's my goal. Now, grand total cost of everything, $14,789. Everything I discussed. Now, this year through I think 2036 or something, there's a potential 30% federal tax savings. So when I do our taxes this year, come February or whatever, I have a potential to get $4,929 back. That's $5,000 nearly to get back as a federal tax credit. So that brings my potential cost on everything I discussed here down to $9,860, including the solar panels, wiring, and everything. Under $10,000 for this whole system, which I hope to save money every month now that I got everything set up. Now, let's get down to, hey Todd, what are you going to save? Was it worth it all? I don't know. It was a lot of work, but when I add it all up, and I know that I can just pack these up and take it to our next house, which I know is going to come. There's no doubt about it. We're going to be living in another house, a smaller downsized house, someplace where I can mount even more solar panels, ground mount, on our property of say 5 to 10 acres or more. It's nice knowing that I've already got this expensive setup to take with me, but I'm guesstimating after taking my my calculations for each circuit that I'm going to be backing up during the day, and I know that the days are going to get longer come springtime going into summer. It's just the winter time in Florida where I only get like, I don't know, 4.5, 5 hours a day of sun, and that grows to 8 hours a day during the other half of the year. Then that's where I'm going to see these things accelerate and start saving more money. But I'm thinking on an average, I'm going to save $155 a month off of our electric bill. If that's true, if I can save on average $155 a month by having all this, within 5 years, everything I did here, everything, even the permanent stuff, the transfer switches, the wiring underground, everything I did should be paid off in 5 years. These have a 48-month warranty, 4-year warranty. So by year 5, everything's paid off. I've paid it, I can take it with me. Everything from there on at our new property is totally free electricity. So that's it, guys. Hope you liked my story today, and maybe this information helped you out somewhat. You don't have to use every advice I give you, but maybe some of this is important to you. Maybe you had questions on some of it, and I was able to help you out a bit. If you can share some information about your stories in the comments below this video, please do. Let's make this kind of like a help video for everybody new to adding home backup portable solar to their home for either off-grid electricity or for backup home electricity. I hope you enjoyed the video, and guys, I'll see you on the next one. So if you're interested in ordering any of the Bluetti products, I'll leave the link in the description, video description below. And guys, look, you can earn reward points with your Bluetti purchases. I ordered this t-shirt from Bluetti, size large for me, and that's a cool little perk. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on for the video and see what you can earn. So these are just fun little perks you can earn from Bluetti, and just with your reward points from Bluetti. Thank you, Bluetti. Size large. Makes me look more muscular.